If you've never played D&D before and you've been invited to your first game, this video describes what you need to know beforehand, what to expect during the game, and how to set your expectations so that you have the best time possible. Before I get into it, be sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. I release new videos every week. Dungeons & Dragons is a fantasy role-playing game. This means you are playing the part of a character, one you most likely create yourself, although sometimes a pre-generated character may be provided to you. First off, the game of D&D is about the experience, not about winning or losing. It's a group activity. It will be you, one or more other players, and the Dungeon Master. The DM acts like the referee and world builder, and plays the part of all the monsters and other creatures you meet in the game, both friendly and hostile. The way D&D is played boils down to 3 steps. The Dungeon Master tells you what you see, you and the other players decide what you do, then the DM then tells you what happens, rinse and repeat. Combat is a part of D&D, but so is social interaction and exploration. Those are called the 3 pillars of D&D. A session is each time you get together to play. A game session can last anywhere from a half hour to many, many hours. An adventure is made up of one or more sessions, and a campaign is made up of one or more adventures. Before you arrive, here's what you should plan to bring to your first game session. Get a set of polyhedral dice. These are tons of styles to choose from, and your local game shop can help you out. Bring some scratch paper and a pencil. Print out and bring a new character sheet, or ask your DM if they can provide one for you. As a DM, I always have several on hand for new players, or when a character dies and the player needs to create a new one. You can also bring snacks to share with others, but ask if anyone has any allergies. You don't want to show up with a bag of Reese's only to find out one of the other players has a deadly peanut allergy. Finally, let the DM know if you have any triggers that would be emotionally traumatic for you. Here's what you don't need. You don't have to memorize the rules. Very few people can. Even long-term players and DMs look stuff up all the time during the game. You don't have to bring miniatures or figurines, although if your table uses a battle mat with minis, wait until after your first session to get one so you can be sure you're happy with your character first. Feel free to wear a costume or speak in a particular voice suitable to your character, but these things are absolutely not needed or even expected. Do what you enjoy. One of the first things you'll do is roll up a new character. The DM, or maybe another experienced player, will help you with that process. Start simple and pick a class that sounds fun to play. Class is like your character's profession, ranging between combat and melee types to spellcasters or specialists like rogues. Your character doesn't need an elaborate backstory, or really any backstory at all, unless that's a big thing in your new group. Don't overthink it, especially at your first game. Some advice would be to make a character that wants to adventure with the group, while avoiding the lone wolf or the character who says no to everything. Here's what to expect during the game. You'll explore around, interact with NPCs, those are characters and people you meet in the game that are role-played by the DM, and sometimes you get into combat. As I said earlier, it follows the same basic 3 steps. The DM tells you what you see, you declare what your character does or says, and the DM tells you how it turns out. Ask questions when you don't understand something, but remember that you're new to the game, so much of it will seem unfamiliar. It really is okay to ask questions. And don't be afraid to take notes about things acquired, places explored, NPCs met, and so on. Pay attention when it's not your turn. Be aware of what's going on and think ahead about what you want your character to do. Also, remember that D&D is essentially a team activity. Good players think about how their character can make the most effective impact toward the party's goals. Separate what you know as a player and what your character knows or would do. Keep your eyes and ears open to the adventure hooks the DM gives you, because that's where the fun stuff is. The common wisdom is that you'll make mistakes, but the secret is there really aren't mistakes. Even if your character is a half-orc or a tiefling, you're still human. This is new to you. I've been playing D&D since 1980, and I'm still learning something new at every game, so cut yourself some slack and don't be too hard on yourself. You'll forget rules, misunderstand mechanics, and sometimes make tactical errors. It's okay to ask the DM questions before making a decision or asking other more experienced players what they suggest. Remember that everyone at the table was new to the game once, so most players and DMs are patient and helpful, but if you find yourself in a group who lacks courtesy or patience, it's okay to say thanks and then find another group. The first few sessions are about learning, not performing. It gets easier and doesn't take very long before it feels natural. Here's some advice for how to be an effective player. First, don't split up the party unless there's a good reason for it. Don't hog the spotlight or interrupt others when it's their turn. Don't argue with the DM about rules. You can ask questions, of course, but the DM does have the final call. D&D is a social activity, so here's some guidance on how to improve that aspect of the experience. First, be on time and show up when you say you will. That's just basic respect and courtesy. Second, respect other players' choices for their characters. Each player has the right to choose what their character does. If something at the table makes you feel uncomfortable, say so. As I mentioned previously, if you have certain triggers or sensitivities, let the others know about it ahead of time. And just like we learned in school, don't talk over each other, especially when it's not your turn. Finally, don't check your phone during gameplay. It can be perceived as rude. Here are some basic reality checks to help set your expectations. If you've ever watched D&D gameplay on YouTube, remember that not every DM is Matt Mercer, and that's okay. Your first session won't be perfect, nor will your 100th. It's an experience, not a contest. You might feel awkward role-playing at first. Everyone does. So only do what feels comfortable. The rules will click over time, not immediately. It's a good idea to learn what your character has in terms of gear and such, and what they are capable of, but don't feel like you have to memorize the entire rule set. And different tables have different styles and vibes, so find the group that works for you. Ultimately, D&D is about having a good time in whatever way your group defines that. The goal is to have fun together. It's about shared storytelling and memorable moments, and remembering that some of the most memorable situations are when things go sideways. Be kind, be engaged, and be willing to learn. The DM and the other players want you to succeed and enjoy yourself, so relax and remember it's just a game. I hope your first D&D experience is a positive one. This is a game that has been around since the 1970s, so there's obviously something to be said for the enjoyment it can offer. That being said, D&D isn't for everyone, and that's okay too. Remember that D&D is an extremely versatile game, with many published variations and even more unique table rules and group styles that make it even more versatile. If you have a less than pleasant experience, be open to giving it another shot, perhaps with a different character, or maybe at a different table that plays a different version of the rules. In the meantime, I hope you have fun, stay cool, and enjoy rolling your dice.